Only on 2 News tonight, we're talking with the wife of Lieutenant Ridge Alkonis. He's the Navy officer with Utah ties serving a 3-year prison sentence in Japan. He was convicted after a May 2021 car accident that killed 2 people. The Navy says he blacked out behind the wheel from a medical condition. Now, Senator Mike Lee has been pushing now for months for his release.
All right, here is Lee's latest tweet. It was directed at the Japanese Prime Minister. You can see it on the screen behind me. And then earlier this month, Mike Lee gave the Japanese Prime Minister an ultimatum as well. He says now time is up. Jim
Spiewak is live tonight. And Jim, Senator Lee set a deadline for 10 p.m. our time. We just passed it tonight to release Alkonis to U.S. custody.
Yeah, you said it right there. We just passed that deadline. We're standing outside of Senator Lee's Salt Lake City office. And while his deadline doesn't have any legal teeth, what it could do is set the stage for a public battle about an agreement between the United States and Japan, an agreement that many people probably don't know about, but one that Senator Lee says is very favorable to Japan.
No one really understands what it's like to have a husband sitting in a Japanese prison, but Brittany Alkonis does.
Every time one of my kids says, as I'm tucking them in bed, I just want a hug from daddy.
Brittany, the wife of Navy Lieutenant Ridge Alkonis, says Japan has delayed a promise to get Ridge back on U.S. soil back in the fall.
Things seem to continue to be delayed for no apparent reason.
Senator Mike Lee's office said that he wasn't available for an interview tonight, but in a series of recent tweets said Japan's prime minister is jeopardizing a very favorable agreement with the U.S. by not transferring Alkonis. Lee tweeted he will start informing Americans about how poorly U.S. military personnel are treated, but that can be avoided if Alkonis is transferred, adding, "I can almost guarantee that you'll be more pleased with that outcome than you will be if you continue down your current path."
I don't see a real end in sight. I think this is just kind of our future.
Brittany says a deeper look at the U.S.-Japanese agreement is desperately needed for other cases that don't get as much attention. And for that to happen, if it means her husband stays in Japan a little longer, it might be a sacrifice they need to make.
I don't know. Maybe if we just have to put up with it for a few more months, we can continue to fight for permanent change.
So as we've mentioned, this deadline has now come and passed, and a spokesperson with Lee's office told me earlier tonight if that were to happen, Senator Lee plans to publicly talk about this on the floor of the United States Senate tomorrow. We're live in Salt Lake tonight. Jim Spiewak, KUTV 2 News.